The 6 reasons you did not get Drake's Iceman. What's up, world? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe and notification bell. Keep sending those cash apps to CLBMG. Join that membership. And all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. Before we get started, I need you to go down in that description. Tap that Temu link. You know you buy Temu already. Use my link to do it. Gang, we have been listening to the prep and promo and the outright all kinds of super duper souped up allegations and this, that, and the third that it's going to drop. We've been hearing it, gang. I've been saying this for a while. Since August 2024, I know there's a confusion in this space, this hip-hop space, that the album was announced in 2025. Please do yourself a favor. Go back to the Drake Iceman page. There is an Iceman Wikipedia page. I did a video about this. I stumbled on that page a few months ago. Yes, there is a page for an album that has not been released, and it has been out for a while. And that page tells us that we were first alerted and notified that Drake was dropping an album called Iceman in August of 2024. This is by Drake's own account that he announced this. This was around before or around the time we got 100 gigs upon your head top and this, that, and the third, right? No Face video, gang. I've been recovering this stuff for a while. So some people say he's obsessed with Drake because he knows so much, gang. I've been so caught up in this situation since 2024 that I have no choice but to know things about Drake, gang. And I do have a video. I'm thinking about Tuesday night going live. I think I'm going to do a live addressing that 5 Kendrick fans versus 1 Drake fan. Salute to, I believe his name is J. Roebuck. I believe that's his name, Roebuck or Roeback. But the whole thing was a setup, and I'm going to go live in response to that video. But end of the day, that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about the 6 reasons. There are 6 reasons that you did not get that Iceman. It was rumored to drop on March 6th. Right, there was supposed to be 6. Of course, the 6th God dropping on the 6th. What else could you ask for? So, end of the day, we didn't get that vaunted and well and highly anticipated album Iceman that's supposed to be about either the Iceman from the Fantastic Four or the hockey player or the murderer. And so many paths and things that was supposed to be related to. They didn't know which one, so they said it's all of them. So we didn't get the Iceman album, and I know for a fact, since I am obsessed with Drake to some degree, according to his fans, bro, you do Drake videos, Gang, we get paid to do these Drake videos, gang. I don't wake up in the morning to do this shit. This is how we get paid at this point. So end of the day, and I am a hip hop historian, and this is to a degree hip hop, okay? Drake is a pop star, but he does rap and he gets a lot of space in this hip hop thing. So we do got to talk about the guy, okay? It is what it is. Now, if you've been following this like I've been following, you know that there have been leaks and rumors of leaks and songs and people have said they've heard it. Maul said he heard the album in total. Aiden Ross said he heard the album in total. Akademiks said he heard a lot of the album. And Aiden Ross went so far as to say it was the most important release that Drake would ever have. And it was going to be a seminal release in hip-hop. This is Aiden Ross, of all people, saying what's going to be a seminal release in hip-hop. Now, all these people claiming they heard it, gang, I don't think there's any album per se. I think there's a collection of songs that he's testing. And I've been telling you for a while. We've been doing, I believe they call it A/B testing or whatever they call it. A/B, AP, I don't know what it is, but they test things in the market and they see what the market feels about those things. And I think what happened was, I think we're being in real time tested to see what works. A lot of these leaks and this, that, and the third, just like what he did with Pusha, his team, they put out push-ups to response to Kendrick's Like That record. They put out the push-ups record, but they did it as a leak. It was so-called a leak. It was so confusing. Many people claimed it was AI. Didn't have a name yet. It was just Drake responds to Kendrick. It was no name for it yet. And it came out, it tested well, and therefore they cleaned it up. Remember, they cleaned it up, changed a few lines, made the beat more clear. They made a better record sonically, put it out under the title of Push-Ups, put it on all DSPs, if I'm not mistaken, and voila, right? You got a whole record by Drake after it was tested in the community, and people was like, you know what? I like that record. Some people like the record. So he put it out under his name, and now it's the official diss of Kendrick Lamar. The battle has officially begun because you had to erase J. Cole and deleted his song 7 Minute Drill. So by all accounts, if you're counting by what's actually supposed to be recognized, that was the first real full 3-verse diss record from any of the big three, right? So we got that record via a leak, and we've been getting a lot of leaks and snippets and this, that, and the third. And let's just say this, a lot of the snippets didn't test well, okay? Let's just be honest, the 100 gigs upon your head top came and went. His fans wanted more. They were like, this is cool, but we need more. And remember, I believe it was UMG snatched it down off his official Instagram. They were at war, gang. There's a lot going on with this album. UMG snatched it down and made him release it because, gang, guess what? You owe us a lot of shmoney, right? All that shmoney you keep talking about, you did a lawsuit because we were trying to devalue you so you wouldn't get this, that, and the third in your renegotiation, right? Apparently, he was allegedly renegotiated his contract, the $400 million contract that he paid back. They say, Challz, you don't know what you're talking about. Drake paid that contract back in full. You a rambling idiot. You don't know. He been paid that back between the tours and the shows and the music. Oh, so he's in a 360. Got it. So at the end of the day, he allegedly paid that $400 million back, and he was renegotiating, right? He wanted another $400 million. Which I'm to myself, I'm like, why wouldn't you just go independent? If you can get them $400 million, you can get yourself $400 million. I never understood, and I still don't know why Drake didn't go independent when his contract was allegedly up. You know why he didn't go independent? Because he still owed him mad money. That's why. That's why he's trying to renegotiate. You can't renegotiate a contract you fulfilled already, gang. But they don't think like that. These are these Drake fans they want us to believe that shit that don't make no sense. You can't renegotiate something that we already finished. Now we talking about a new contract, brand new. My money should be up. There's no way to devalue me. I already made you $400 million. You can't devalue me with a verse from Kendrick. They don't think about this shit. They try to tell you this shit, gang, but they only work on dumb people, right? That's why I told you I'm going to go live and have this conversation about the 5 Kendrick fans versus Drake. It's silly shit that was said in that video. It's almost impossible to watch, but I watched it, right, just for this situation. Now, we saw all of this stuff about this money and this renegotiation, this, that, and the third. I say all that to say, the reason that he won't put this album out, I got the 6 reasons lined up, and part of that is to do with the money that he owes UMG and the things that UMG can do for him. You got to understand, they are a very powerful label. They put a lot of music out, and they make a lot of shmoney. That's why he's not running over to Sony, the imaginary $500 million deal he had on the table with Sony that UMG used Kendrick, not like us, to ruin that deal. And they all of a sudden slid that deal off the table when they heard that pedophile line, right, according to the Drake fans, which they wanted to believe. End of the day, right? Here are the 6 reasons. If you want to timestamp this right here. Somebody could get down in the timestamp because I'm going to do the 6 reasons right now. Okay, this is my channel. I do what I want to do. The first reason that Drake hasn't dropped this Iceman album is because he's scared to. It's a lot on the line with this Iceman album, gang. I don't know if you know how much pressure he's put on himself by taking 2 years to drop this. You don't know how much pressure to see. You just saw A$AP Rocky come out, do really good numbers, okay? You saw Keem come out to a lot of critical acclaim. You saw J. Cole come out to a lot of critical acclaim. J. Cole came out, first of all, I think he did almost 300K first week. Bang. Already, it was 280, almost 300K, right? And these predictions getting crazy because it seems like the predictions are always higher now for certain artists. It's like they said Cole was going to do 300K, then he came out with 280. Right? Only people I see rising above the predictions, like they lowball the artists like Clips and Nas, they lowball them, and then they overachieve. But the guys like A$AP Rocky and J. Cole, they kind of highball them, and then it's just weird. But end of the day, J. Cole came out, knocked it out the park. A lot of people have forgiven J. Cole. They've wiped the slate clean because allegedly the album is that good. It's so good. You can't even really talk bad about Cole no more because people really not feeling you talking bad about it for some reason. So at the end of the day, what we're getting now is Drake is actually seeing these things, and the pressure on him to succeed with this album is immense. If he does anything less than 350, 355, right, It's gonna be like, yes, fans they're gonna have ready-made excuses this, that, and the third, which I don't. It's gonna really be tough to do 355 gig, to do 4, this, that, and the third. With or without bots, it's gonna be tough, and I don't even want to have a bot conversation because we're gonna let it rock. It's surely gonna be some of that, but end of the day, I'm not even bringing that up. We're gonna talk about what if he come out and do 280, 250, God forbid 175. Like if he come out, he could tease it all day because all they could say is, yo, when it dropped, these guys going crazy. Remember I showed you the video? I've been covering this for a long time, and a couple weeks ago, I showed you the video of one of his fans said, yo, when that Iceman dropped, I'm just gonna shed tears because I know how much my homeboy went through to get here. I showed you that video a couple weeks ago, and it was a legit Drake fan said that he know how much Drake went through to get there, and he gonna just shed straight up tears when the thing dropped. So the anticipation's high. If he don't live up to this sonically and on chart wise, it's scary. He got to do really good numbers. You got to think he up against GNX, and all this stuff ain't been really, these leaks, they've been coming and going. They haven't been moving the needle. It's scary, gang. Them episodes have been widely looked at as, let's be honest, they haven't been looked at as anything other than failures and flops, in my opinion. Most people don't acknowledge those episodes as being good. You got a few diehard fans, and I told you I was in that that Drake, well, I don't know what it's called on Twitter, that I was in that fan group, and I used to be quiet all the time, just watching and reading this shit, and they was having internal beefs before I got kicked out, right? I went too far, and I posted something in there, cracking on, I posted something, and some guy was like, yo, whoever the admins of this group, remove this guy. I got removed in took probably 30 minutes, 15, 30 minutes. I got removed from the group, but when I was still in there, they was actively arguing back and forth because they didn't know if which one was the right single, this, that, and the third. So they are not in unison with all these records that he's leaking and actually not just leaking the ones that he's putting out on his own via the episodes. So with that kind of division within your own ranks, right? And some of the division is is talking about what kind of music should be on there. So they're not even, some of the stuff that he's doing, they're not jacking it. They're like, this is cool, but I don't want this Drake on here. They don't want that particular kind of Drake. They want him to come back on some slam bam. Listen, man, I got the mic in my hand. They want him rapping and topping, gang. They want him like to shut Kendrick up. They want him to shut Cole up. They want that big three to be solidified, that it ain't no big three, it's just big. I'm not just going to say that because I'm going to be like, I'm going to have to say pause, and we won't be saying pause. So they just wanted to be him by himself, right? End of the day, if this thing ain't a slam dunk classic, we already having this conversation about classics now. They just got a whole room full of people just told Maul and Rory that they was on a homeboy show, my guy, Matt Hoffa. They was on Matt Hoffa's show back in the barbershop once again. And they just told Matt Hoffa, a room full of people all said that Drake don't have no classics. So we right back here with this classics conversation. And to me, you ain't got to drop a classic to make a hit record. But at this point, with all this stuff, we just saw Kendrick drop GNX 2 years ago, gang. And we saw Cole come out. A lot of people saying that's whatever. A lot of his fans saying it's a classic. It ain't no classic, but there's a lot of people saying it's a really good record. He got to compete. Even though the big three is dismantled, he still got to compete with these guys. He got to make music comparable to what they're doing. We just saw Kendrick with the balled up fist, with the boxing glove tape on his fist. They said this is the new album cover for Kendrick's next project. That's the rumor. So now we talking about another project, and you still ain't drop Iceman. To me, that is a person that is scared, okay? Number two reason, gang, we're going to be here for a little bit at least. Number 2 reason is testing badly. All of the leaks that are being dropped, they're not going over well, and especially it was a leak before Akademiks did his leak. It was a song that leaked, and people were like, bro, what is that? Like, for the most part, most of these leaks are getting panned publicly, and you can't just have your stance saying that something is good. Drake knows that. Everybody in the business knows. It can't just be your stance. No one has a fan base strong enough to propel their music to where it could go number 1, this, that, and the third. That's why some Sexy Songs for You struggled. Took like 4 weeks. It struggled to get to number 1. It was number 1 for 1 week. And it was off the chart. So I know it was an album, and it went number 1. After I told you he would never go number 1 again. None of them songs hit. Like they put all of their superpowers together and got what was that? What Did I Miss? I think it was What Did I Miss that they got to number 2. They get no, I'm sorry, it's not What Did I Miss? It's Nokia. Sorry about that. They got Nokia to number 2, right? And conveniently, that's a Drake song. It's not Party, and Drake is most of the time when they say Drake went number 2, it is what it is. But it is what it is. They got that to number 2. But it never gets there. And it's only his stands with their phones. They're repeating it. They're leaving it on 24 hours a day. They got 2 and 3 phones, and they're telling each other. We've seen the post. Come on, guys, keep pushing. Make sure you stream no kid. So they're going out of their way, which to me, I'm just going to be honest, as a hip-hop head, I would feel a way if my fans got to keep telling everybody every day, yo, listen, we're almost there, guys. Keep streaming. Keep going. We can get there. 4 weeks to get no kid at number 1 and finally number 2. It got beat by, who was that? I can't remember the guy that beat it. It was a pop act, I believe. Somebody beat him. No, the country guy. The country guy beat him, right? Country guy, what do you think about? I just dropped the song. I just dropped the album. You want to think about number 1 or number 2. I just dropped this shit like, fuck it. End of the day, they were going crazy to get no kid to number 1, but it didn't make it. So after all of that, that's all his stands. You can't do this with just your stands. Even 4 weeks of pushing and pushing and pushing. And honestly, he ain't got 4 weeks to wait for this album to go no number 1. Like if this shit come out and go number 2 or some number 3 shit, Justin Bieber drops some surprise shit or something, or God forbid Taylor Swift do some, this motherfucker is gonna be so crushed. It's gonna be devastating. So it's the stuff that they're putting out is not strong enough to push this thing to number 1 because he needs other people to like it. The stuff that's coming out is really, really generic or it's not organic and it feels like shit he's already done. That's not going to get there. Number 3, the number 3 reason that we see that this Iceman thing didn't come out on March 6th as promised, right? And rest in peace to Biggie Small. Today, March 9th, Biggie died on March 9th. So like Cannabis said, the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th. Him being the greatest is debatable, but he one of the greatest. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls. All right, so the number 3 reason that you didn't get Iceman is the legal troubles. Drake just went through a whole lawsuit. He went through the court system. The case got dismissed to nobody's surprise. I was saying it when the very first announcement of it, before it was before it was actually a full lawsuit, when it was just a petition. When they announced the petition, I said that thing ain't never gonna make it to nobody's courtroom. And if it do go to court, it's gonna lose. Well, it went, he made it from a petition, right? He filed it in Texas and New York, if I'm not mistaken, and took the petition down, resubmitted it, took a bunch of the stuff out. He took out the bots because he couldn't prove it. He took out he left it to defamation. There was a whole lot of other stuff he had in there. He took it out. He removed Spotify. He removed iHeart and just focused on UMG, right? Allegedly. And the shit got dismissed by Judge Jeanette. And salute to her. She's going. It's either Janine or Jeanette, but she is officially a hip hop head now. We've adopted the judge because she knows hip hop better than Drake, and she threw his case out. But he was dealing with that shit for a long time. You got to think he's paying these lawyers for up to a year for that case to get thrown out. Then he I don't know who's advising them, but they real smart to keep their bag going because they was like, you know what? Let's just appeal it. Right? They explained to him that an appeal, you can't introduce no new information. It's the same shit that she already shot down the first time. So he's going to try to appeal it just to save face. But the case was stupid from the beginning. You can't be defamed in a rap battle, doofy. This is what they've been trying to tell you all year. But you tried it and it didn't work. The judge knew hip hop better than you. End of the day, the lawyers got a great big bag, but that's a lot of time wasted on the legality. Now he's still dealing with he got more lawsuits because they got the 2 lawsuits about him bodying. They got the lawsuits he's named in the lawsuits against state gambling, about how Stake in the state of Missouri, Stake is skirting the laws over there by allowing people to gamble for money, which is illegal in the state of Missouri. So they opened up a lawsuit. They got another lawsuit about him with the bots, using the bots to up. This is the one, I believe this is about RBX over there, somehow against Drake, saying that they've botted so many like something up to I don't know, 1 billion. I don't know how many bots they're trying to say he did, 800 million. I don't know what it was, but they have a lawsuit saying that he botted a lot of his music, and that's pulling away from the artist pool because Spotify pays artists from a pool of money. And if you're botting and taking a chunk of the money, then that reduces the pot for everybody else. So he's alleging that Drake was botting and they can prove it. So that's a lot of legal stuff. It's a lot of little lawsuits too that people don't realize that Drake is fighting. So he got his hands full with just that. So that's 3 things. He's scary. The music that he's actually leaking is testing badly. It's not doing well. And then he got legal trouble. So that's 3 right there. Number 4 is he is uncertain of the direction that he want to take the album. Do he want to get serious? Do I want to do a bunch of, you want to do 8 timestamp records and 2-party records? Like, he don't know the length of it. Should I do a double CD, triple CD? Fuck it. Should I put 40 tracks out? He don't know what to do because there's so many ways he can put it out and so many angles he could take, right? But at the end of the day, music has changed drastically. You see 21 Savage getting hit with all these accusations of bots. They're removing all of his stuff because people don't want that kind of music no more. Young Thug and 21 Savage and a lot of other guys who make that kind of music, it ain't popping no more because people don't want to hear that no more. It ain't where the culture is at no more. A little guy named Kendrick Lamar changed that with that battle. Then he came out with GNX. Everybody gravitated to GNX, and a lot of people who hadn't really heard nobody really spitting in a long time actually heard somebody spitting because they had to go to hear the album because everything was going on at the time was directing them to hear what Kendrick was going to say about Drake on that album. Well, he didn't say a whole lot of nothing about Drake on GNX, but he got their ears, and they got caught with a lot of good music. It was a lot of West Coast sounding music on there, but it was just a lot of good hip hop, a lot of good samples. We had the one mic sample, this, down, the third. So it just was a really good record. A lot of people got exposed prior to and after. Some people never heard that. Some people heard it before. They got introduced and reintroduced to some better hip hop. Now you can't give this shit away. Right? So all these records that he might got in the stash that he did with 21 and he did with maybe with Thug or whoever. I don't know if he's going to work with Thug no more. He gave Thug $1 million and Thug shitted on him. So let's just be honest. I don't know if he's going to do anything with Thug. But at the end of the day, he might. You might see a Thug record on there just because. But at the end of the day, I feel like he doesn't know where to really go, how long to make this thing. Should I make it 15 tracks? Should I make 8? It's a very big decision. And I don't think the album is done. So he's still trying to figure out what to even put on it. So right there, my number 4 reason is he's just uncertain of the direction of the album. He doesn't seem confident. 2 years of promoting the album, yeah, you ain't confident. You ain't confident in what you're doing, gang. Nobody does that. People may say, I got an album coming. They may say, oh, watch out. This guy actively, as of last week, was putting up posts talking about Iceman on the way. So what we talking about? You still promoting something that you haven't put out. It's just all weird. So the 4th, that's the 4th one. Uncertain of the direction. The 5th reason, the gambling and distractions. How can you make a cohesive project when you're streaming or you're streaming live on Kick? You're gambling nonstop and you got all these distractions, this, that, and the third. Every time we look up, he has some club where he's doing this, that, and the third. Some strip place, some strip body say, oh, Drake was at the club with headphones on writing. You're at the club though, like, I get it. You're like, he want to see what the feel is. That leads back to the distraction. The uncertainty of what to do, the direction of it. If you're in a strip club or wherever trying to feel it around and get shit, is niggas fucking, this is Fetty Wap, they playing Fetty Wap. So at the end of the day, he trying to figure out what's popping right now and figure out what's going on. But he's still doing, it's too many distractions. You can't stream with Aiden Ross. Every time we see him on these streams, it's like, they're doing something in regards to gambling because he has to. He's under contract with Stake that he has to gamble on Kick. He has to draw you in, draw all these little kids in and these young adults in to gambling. He got to do these. You just saw that the video came out. I did a video about how on Stake. On Stake he's winning 4 times more than the average. The next closest person on the Stake exclusive games. So you're sitting there worrying about that. You're worrying about getting on streams and constantly drawing people in because that's how he gets paid. He got a lot of jobs, right? How many jobs you got? He got a lot of jobs. So one of the jobs is his obligation is to do that. How can you focus on an album, making a cohesive project when your other obligation is to sit there and gamble for hours? Right? Nigga got $9 million in this fucking thing. Shit dwindled down to 400,000. You know that's very distracting. So the 5th reason, too many distractions. Gambling and this, that, and the third, and whatever else he got going on. And the 6th reason, right? 6 God, right? The 6th reason is the leaks and the hackers. So the hackers that supposedly took music and threatened they're allegedly that they're going to try to extort him, this, that, and the third. And Akademiks is like, yo, when I played that snippet, it wasn't really an Iceman snippet. It was some old stuff off of the sessions for some sexy songs for you, which Akademiks didn't tell us that at first. He just did the shit and made it like it was whatever. All of a sudden, he got that text from Drake like, what the fuck you doing, bro? Like, da-da-da. But at the end of the day, I don't believe it was no call, no text about what the fuck you doing. I think what happened was Drake gave him permission to leak the shit. But at the end of the day, Akademiks is playing it like, yo, he mad at me because I wasn't supposed to leak it, da da da. End of the day, these hackers allegedly have been getting into his stash and putting out songs, and those are the songs that ain't testing well. But at the end of the day, they're chalking it up to hackers have the whole album, this, that, and the third. Now, that could very well be true, and let's just imagine that it is. That's a reason to not, they're saying that he's not going to put it out, is delayed because they hacked it and got it. Okay, so I'm going to give them now, I'm going to say, all right, if they hacked it and got it, that would make you push it back. Just like RZA had it. RZA had that flood in his basement, and he lost all that Method Man music. Now we saying that Method Man, to me, I know I got reamed out because I put out a clip of saying on the What Show that Method Man don't have no classic albums, right? You know, like, what the fuck? Challz a classic, da da da. End of the day, to me and a lot of the people, Method Man don't have no classic albums. People could say that's because of the flood, right? And then he lost a lot of music. Now Drake could be saying, my music got stolen, therefore I can't put it out. Just like I know a lot of rappers got bootlegged. I think Kanye's first album, we all heard Kanye's first album before he dropped it. It was on a bootleg. It came out, the whole hood had the first, the college drop, the whole hood, but it made him platinum in the hood. But he had to go back, change stuff, rearrange stuff, do new samples, new beats, because he didn't want to come out like that because it's gonna hurt your sales. Drake could be like, yo, my thing got hacked, and that's the essence of a bootleg. So he's saying that's gonna hurt my sales. Everybody already heard this shit. I don't understand that, because I'm like, end of the day, your shit should be strong enough for you to put that out already, and it wouldn't even matter if it's hacked or not. At this point, you give the hackers more power by waiting and changing shit, da da da. You could have already put it out because your brand should be strong enough where it doesn't matter. I'm Drake, they're gonna stream it anyway. So I think this hacker thing is an excuse, but I'm gonna put it on here. That's a reason. That's in his mind. This is supposed to be from his point. All of these reasons is from his point of view. So if the hackers is a thing, a real thing to him, then that's a sixth reason. So that's 6 reasons right there I gave you. Let me know what you think in the comments. But I feel like all of this stuff is these are really, everything I told you is excuses. This is really an excuse for a guy feeling really inadequate. He doesn't feel like he knows what's going on in this music, and it's showing because he's hesitant, he's stagnant, and he's really not really open to working with people right now. He got burnt with all these reference tracks that's dropping. A lot of people been dropping these reference tracks for songs that we didn't know that he had. A lot of the stuff that we revered him for got reference tracks dropped. They even dropped one of the, oh my God, the timestamp records. Like, they dropped a reference track on that. So we're like, hold up. Really, Drake only get respect in this game on hip-hop. So I'm not talking about the pop music and the sales and streams. I'm talking about on hip-hop, and the hip-hop barbershop conversations. It's because of those timestamp records. So when it came out that a timestamp record, I think it was Akademiks who said it. He said, yo, if I found out Drake, was it the Rico record? It was Mob Boss or some fucking record. It was that record and the timestamp record. He said, now those records, he said, I don't care about the other records, this, that, and the third. But if I find out that the timestamp records were written by someone else, or this Mob Tie record, one of these records that he loved, I don't remember the exact name of it. He's like, now that would hit different. And then boom, the fucking reference tracks came out that those were too, my friend, those were written too. So it's like, he don't know what to do. Like, should I do a full record of this, that, and the third? It's getting to the point where people are starting to lose faith in the whole project altogether. And I think they're losing faith in him, and he feels it. So he's just all, to me, I think it's all excuses. I think it's all, he's in his own head because the battle. You got to think, if a guy bold enough to go get lawyers over a rap battle, he really shook up, gang. He really shook up. This, ouch, my stomach hurt. I don't know what to do. Like, he really cooked. He cooked out here, the bubble bath rapper. It ain't enough bubbles to get this guy head right. All right, listen, I'm out of here, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz. Top in 9:15, 9:30. We lock in. We'll be there this Wednesday night. Go down in my links, man. Tap that Temu link. You already shop at Temu, man. Get on there. Use my link. And the What project has a song called This That on all streaming platforms. Make sure you lock in, burn that, run that single up, watch that video, get in the comments, let me know what you think, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com. Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe and put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you, but I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.